Okay, so what I'm doing here today is I had a crack in my boat a long time ago and it's split back open. It's right here, and I'm going to weld it and show you guys how. So the first step is the obvious: rip out your stuff. So a few things you need to weld your boat. I went to Urethane Supply Company and I got me this thing. It's for this kind of plastic. It said on the internet or on the website that Dagger, Piranha, Liquid Logic, all that kind of plastic for that welder. So I got that in the mail. Sometimes people don't get plastic welding sticks. I did because I broke my boat early on and I just bought a bunch of them. So I still got some blue and I got some orange for when that one goes. But anyways, so you need some welding rods. You need the welder, obviously. But if you don't have the welding rods, and I didn't the first time, and you can see here, we kind of took some plastic right from here. So just a couple slithers, a couple little slices, right from the coaming of your cockpit, and you'd be good to go. So the welder, plastic rods, and a drill to drill your holes. That's pretty much all you need to weld your boat. So after your seat and stuff is all out, here's where I welded it before, but yours would look different if you never welded it. It would just be a crack through. I use a light. Do the light test to see how it looks. So this inside still looks a little bit good. Probably the outside cracked through. I'm gonna re-weld it anyways, just in case. But all this dirt stuff, try to clean as much of it up as you can, because you don't want to be welding dirt inside of it. You don't want dirt in your plastic. As of recent, I found that when you dry your boat, I just use an old vacuum and just vacuum all that dirt up out of there, and then wipe that down with some wet stuff. I use this super cleaner for plastic cleaner. They recommended it to weld plastic with. One other thing I wanted to point out is I had some tape over this, and it actually looks like it kept it pretty clean, except for right here. I would still recommend taping it after you weld it. I'm going to flip the boat over now. We're going to do the light test to see how bad that crack actually is. So this is the other side of it. The crack itself right here. Watch when I do the light test. See that right there, how it lights up a little bit better in the crack itself. You can't really see it head on, but this cracked on the side. Typically with gouges, you can check them, see how deep they are with one of these lights. Nothing too serious, but when you can actually see the light piercing through, like we did earlier, yep, right there, that real light, shiny light right there, and then we know that it cracked back open. So I'm going to continue to weld. Just spray it with the plastic cleaner, let it sit for a few seconds and wipe it off, and do the same to the other side. Ventilated area. Just try to clean it up as best as you can. You're not going to get all the dirt off it, and it's going to suck, but that's what we're going to do. I'm going to try. Okay, next thing that you want to do is get a drill, and at the crack you're going to want to drill a hole in the end of each crack to prevent it from continuing to crack out. Like it'll spider out this way or whatever. Okay, 2 holes are drilled. I'm actually going to flip this over now. And on the other side you can see now a little bit where it's at, so we don't want to really mess with our old plastic too much. I'm gonna take this tool here now, scraper tool, scrape a little bit of it just to see how loose it is. Doesn't seem like it's too bad, so I'm gonna leave most of that be. I'm gonna continue this without videotaping, but then you're going to, on the other side, you're going to take this and you're going to kind of just scratch open this crack. Just keep scratching it open. Make a nice little V in there. Okay, so I also recommend one of these when doing this. Yes. Okay, now that you're here, you're going to take your hot welding rod, your welding stick, and you're going to slowly work it in here. Now I'm going to have someone else hold the camera, and I'm only going to do this for a little bit. A ventilated area. So I like to melt it a little bit here. Right along the crack. Get it melting. And then we're going to work this rod into it. I'm going to start here and work my way this way. Melt that a little bit more. And just work it like this. Take that rod, just melt it in. I'm just going to go like this because it melts. Just go like this as it melts. Make sure you melt the plastic, all the plastic, nice and smooth, and work your way down. Melting it in there. Melting it all in there. Move it back. And then after you get your weld, I like to just smooth it in. Try to melt some of that original boat plastic in there. Mix it all in. Okay, so typically there'd be a little crack right here. There's not on this one. There's not a crack because I built this up already. Or else you just deep V that again and just work this over. I'm just going to melt this stuff all back together a little bit and add a little bit more plastic, and we should be good to go. Okay, so we built all that in. Real nice and smooth on the inside. Flip it over and take another look on the outside. Okay, so I'm actually real happy with this one. We let it cool down and touch it with some sandpaper. So then once it's dry, once it's cool to the touch, take some 80 or whatever. Give it a quick. And then I take some 180. And smooth it up just along the edges. And that is that. So that's how I do it. Other people like to add mesh to their weld. Put it, I guess, right there, and you kind of melt the plastic over it, so the plastic comes through it. I don't like mesh. I don't like mesh for this kind of weld, at least on your butt, because this kind of weld will pop back open. It takes a lot of impact right there. Maybe up here, if I were to crack it up here, I'd put the mesh in. This is just my way of doing it. I know there's other ways of doing it. So, yeah. Also, final step. Gorilla Tape. I don't have much left, but we're gonna put one right over top of the main weld, and then 2 on the sides, and hopefully we keep that clean. Maybe tape it up a little bit better than we did last time, and that way it holds it and it cleans it up. So, okay, so I put one down. I overlapped a little bit, and then put another one on top. Hopefully that'll prevent this weird little stupid dirt line from happening. Now, happy outfitting.